Namaste, Zil. It's the Spiritual Daywalker with your tarot card reading for the next new moon phase from 27th of August until 10th of September. This new moon is in Virgo and it's Virgo season. So Gemini, it's going to be grounding for you. That is very beautiful because it seems like well, there's some love coming in for you, I believe. And I don't do love readings because if love comes up in a reading, that is on you because you are attracting it. However, I just shuffled and an Ace of Cups, thinking about you and Virgo, an Ace of Cups fell into my lap where it's like, okay, this might be a positive reading because like the September we're moving into is going to be quite tedious with a lot of, well, energies rubbing off on each other, like Mars and Gemini, for example. They're in kind of a clinch, and Virgo is trying to structure our life, right? And then it's like there's a lot of stuff in there in September. Then seeing an Ace of Cups falling into my lap in the pre-shuffle, that is a very beautiful thing. However, it is a general reading, so if the message doesn't resonate with you, feel free to drop the message. If it does, drop a comment, like and subscribe, and maybe share to someone else who might enjoy this reading style. Now, I'm very, very curious what this Ace of Cups could mean and how the card in the soul spot is going to resonate or like work with it, right? Let's see, we're doing a DNA spread, so in the middle there is your spirit coming into manifestation, and around it the energies balancing. Let's see. There's that Magician. Beautiful. So you are manifesting that Ace of Cups right there. Your soul is very much in manifestation mode, meaning all the elements coming together are kind of balanced and grounded and whatnot. And that's very beautiful because you as a Gemini were going through quite an interesting time of finding, like, being more decisive and finding your center, right? Balancing out, right? All about balance. It seems like you found that balance, and with that Magician, you are going to manifest something very beautiful here. Not exactly without confrontation, I feel, because my stomach is kind of rebelling, right? But let's see. In the spot of the 9, there is death. That is funny, because like the Magician, right, manifesting something into your reality, it is a transition, right? Death, it is about transition. It is about yin and yang and all that stuff. But for something new to come in, something else needs to go. And that is in your 9 spot. That is the centerpiece of it all. Basically the spiritual takeaway that gets you from the Magician into manifestation, which is a Father of Swords. A cool energy to manifest into, actually. It's a little controlling, but it's also wise as fuck, right? And you're a Gemini. You've been thinking about shit a lot. You know the pros and cons and all that stuff. And the Father of Swords is you making that decision and making a wise and profound decision, right? And I really get that that is your energy. That is what you are manifesting, is being in that Father of Swords energy. That has a lot of implications, right? Because like the court cards are often characters in your life. With you here, I get a strong sense that you are that Father of Swords, but the implications are that you are house cleaning with a lot of your social ties, right? Because the Father of Swords, he can spread his wisdom. He can engage into conversations that you maybe in the past weren't exactly able to, because yeah, you're always seeing both sides and you don't know what to decide for, whatever. And that Father of Swords, he uses his wisdom to also steer a conversation, to get into conversations and understand mindsets that others don't comprehend or not being able to, you know, wrap their head around. And you coming into that wisdom also means decisiveness and finding that wisdom through that transition, holding space for that. That is a very, very mature energy right here. Very interesting. So maybe the Ace of Cups, it's not exactly a romantic love, but it's far greater than that. Being that you're manifesting a Father of Swords right here, maybe it is you, arguing with a sort of father figure in your life, or not exactly father figure, authority figure in your life, right? Where you're like going into that Ace of Cups, feeling that fulfillment because you are able to approach the situation now with more wisdom than in the past, and actually clearing something up here, getting some new insights, and like maturing in a way you never thought possible, probably with different people or this authority figure that this kind of suggests, right? Because you become the authority figure yourself, so logically you come to terms with authority as an abstract, and with that, with all the people in your life that symbolize this authority, which is very beautiful, right? Especially coming from the magician, because the magician, right, he is manifesting something here, and very beautiful. Let's see. In the spot of the one, there is overthinking. There is a Nine of Swords, and the magician looking at this Nine of Swords, which is very interesting. So it might not exactly be overthinking, but since the magician is your soul spot, it is you realizing something about that on the meta level, how you're overthinking, or this mind conflict, this inner conflict has been standing in your way, and maybe even with that authority figure that is kind of in that manifestation right here. Let's see, balancing that out, there's Temperance. Temperance is actually about balance and healing. So you're balancing that Nine of Swords, overthinking, shared pain kind of energy, and for you as a Gemini especially, that being torn apart, like between the pro and the con, the masculine and the feminine side of it, like should I act, should I be receptive, should I take their point, should I stand my ground, all that stuff. And you are coming to balance with that, and like seeing, like healing through that, right? Let's see, in the spot of the three, that's your takeaway. There's the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is a card for nostalgia. See, like here it is, that tree with the roots highlighted. So it is about your roots, right? And basically, healing trauma from the past, because that overthinking is finally gone. Like that magician, that idea of wanting to manifest something in your reality and believing that this can happen, right? You're open to miracles, in a sense, open to the world being more than it seems, and open to yourself having a special superpower, like that this overthinking that you're coming from is actually your power if it's balanced right? So that is what you do with that Temperance, right? You have been patient, and now you realize that patience is only good if you actually balance out, like everything is like has its truth in a sense, and you know that's why it's tough to make a decision sometimes, because you see it all, right? But you have come to some conclusions, especially during the last moon phases, where you're just like, okay, I get it now. Like, I do like to be in my head about stuff. I do like just like seeing both sides, but at a certain point you got to make a decision about stuff. You've realized that, and now you are thinking about the feelings you had in the past, in a sense, right? And healing those deep-rooted traumas. That is very interesting. Let's go further around that Death card. There's Ace of Pentacles in reverse in the 4. And a Mother of Swords in reverse. You've been holding on to something very fucking long. The Ace of Pentacles being delayed, like believing in the potential of something coming to manifestation, or something having like a long-term effect, right? That is something you were stuck with. And surrounding that Death card, that is something that is now turning around, where you, with a new mindset now, revisiting something in the past that has always shaped your way of thinking, right? And that is now leaving. Because the Mother of Swords basically says like some sort of the same story. It is the Mother of Swords for me, especially when it's in reverse, is trying to be smart and honorable and whatnot from a very cognitive sense. So that always means holding on to some ideas longer than you need to, right? And the Nine of Swords is going into a Mother of Swords in reverse, where you then realize, actually, I don't have to hold on to all those belief systems that have pained me in the past. And then, like, since that Magician is up there, right, you're coming, and the Temperance card, it's like you're viewing this from a new mindset, clearing out something that has been with you for a long fucking time, where you always thought, I'm sticking with this until it works, right? Which for some of you, I get a flip sense of being like, being flipped, like, okay, this will never work. I know that this will never work, so why even give a fuck? And now you're revisiting that idea and realizing, well, never say never, right? Maybe it was not supposed to work back in the day, but me not believing that it can work is actually the reason for it not working out. And you are getting closer and closer to that Father of Swords right here, which is actually embodying wisdom. So it's the Mother of Swords in reverse, manifesting slowly but surely into a Father of Swords, right? Where you're just like, okay, maybe I should stop sticking to the thought that it could never work, but maybe I should just address it and talk about it and be open to whatever is a factor in this, right? Because the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, I really strongly get the feeling that that is an idea of something never working out. And I feel very much it feels like a reconciliation reading. It feels like the Magician is manifesting, is believing in a higher sense of reality right now, and then taking a look back into the past, into what went wrong in the past, and finally matured enough to reconcile with the idea of authority. Now that can be losing hate for a system that kept you in like prisoner in a sense, right? Where you just like, for example, you always hated school, whatever, and that you were never open to learning, and everyone that remotely resembled that sort of mindset for you, or that system, was shunned, whatever, like, this is never going to work, I'm never going to get into a system like that again, yada yada yada. And now you are realizing something about that adversity and like this, why this hurt you, or why you weren't feeling recognized, why you had the sense that this was never working out or not reaping any rewards and shit. And there goes the light. Well, I hope you can stick through this with me through the last row without the front light. You see me, right? You see me. Perfect. So let's see in the final row of the manifestation what exactly you are manifesting here and you are coming to terms with. A Six of Wands in reverse. which is a card for like setting yourself free, and here it's a little delayed. The Mother of Swords moving into it, very interesting. Feels like realization about something. That Son of Cups in reverse. Son of Cups in reverse, balancing it out. Yeah, emotionality was repressed. The will to move forward was repressed. It feels very much like you are coming to terms with your past and things that didn't work out in the past, that you weren't able to set yourself free from. Like, you're going to realize why you were holding on to the thought that this couldn't work out, right? With a profound wisdom that it actually can. There's another father figure in the spot of the six, the realization about this. There's the Father of Wands, and usually this is a little pretentious, right? There's like a sense of pretentiousness in there, but with this, yeah, I do kind of get it still. But with this, I very much feel it is the will to rise above it, right? And the Father of Wands is looking at that Six of Wands in reverse, is like, I haven't been able to set myself free from this, but I've grown now, right? And I can stand my ground without actually picking a side, but realizing that a little bit of both is true, and that is the truth that I stand for, right? And I can work with that. I'm not indecisive, I just see it all, right? And this sort of wisdom of you incorporating yourself and your superpower in a sense, and then reapplying that to how you've dealt with it in the past and why some energies were stuck. You are becoming that Father of Swords, realizing what held you back in the past, right? Why that Son of Cups is in reverse, so emotions were repressed. Why the Ace of Pentacles is in reverse, where you're thinking like, this could never work, whatever. But you are very much coming to terms with that, and that is so, so beautiful. So, long story short, you're in the Magician energy, manifesting your wisdom, like decisiveness, using all your thoughts you're having that used to pain you in the past for good and for sorting stuff out. So there is that Virgo energy very much, where you realize to manifest something, I need to make it real. So I need to look at the areas in my life that I was blocked in the past and set things right now in the future and for the future, right? So that is very interesting, very, very interesting. Also, that Son of Cups could be someone you're turning away from, because the Father of Wands is looking away from it towards that Six of Wands, where you're like, okay, this was holding me back, so I got to turn away from it. So it could be someone that is not exactly mature enough to deal with their own emotions and therefore not fulfilling yours. However, since you're ending up in the Father of Swords, I kind of get that you realize this. So you're not exactly turning away from it, but rather understanding it. That doesn't mean you have to take it on and deal with it for long, but you are reconciling, you are addressing it, and you are realizing a lot about what this Nine of Swords in the past meant for you, like being called an overthinker, right? And not being able to use all this information that you're taking on for good and creating blockages, right? It very much feels like you are realizing those blockages. That's why all the cards are in reverse. It's like you're looking into the past, and there's healing about the past, and everything else except the middle row is in reverse, these here, right? So these are the energies that you have been struggling with and are coming out of, that you're clearing out. And in the middle, there is that death card. That death card saying you're letting go of all these false ideas because you finally are becoming that Father of Swords, the one that uses their air energy progressively, wisely, decisively, is able to reconcile, is an authority figure in itself, himself, themselves, whatever. So that is a very beautiful energy where like a lot of people are taking stock in this Virgo season, right? For you it seems like you are very much dismantling and cleaning house in your past and what it means for your future, and realizing how much you've grown to be able to do that, right? Being a father of one's, like very determined and going for it, addressing it head on, and then learning so much from it that you stand tall as that Father of Swords, which is you owning your own energy, right? I mean, you're mutable air, and then being in that Father of Swords energy, not so mutable and wacky anymore, but clean cut, decisive, wise, holding space, all that stuff. That is a very beautiful transition. That is a very beautiful transition. So it seems like you're coming from a very balanced place, being able to clear all that out and then coming out of it as, well, the person you always wanted to be, in a sense, right? And from that you're going to manifest some beautiful, beautiful stuff, right? As of now, this is for you to realize a lot about old ideas and flip all those cards around that are on their heads right now, right? So from that Nine of Swords into a Mother of Swords, realizing something about why you couldn't set yourself free from this because emotions were repressed and blah, blah, blah. And all of this is moving into that Father energy, into being like the masculine, not male, right? This is a different concept, but the progressive provider, right? And owning your truth, your passion being your own energy, your wands being your swords. So that is a very beautiful transformation. I'm sorry that the light went out, but however, it's about the message in it. So if that message resonated with you, drop a comment, like and subscribe, give me a note, a comment, a DM. I'd love that. I need some feedback. And yeah, enjoy this transformation. It seems very mature and might not exactly be easy going, but in that magician and fatherly energy, I don't see you struggling with it at all. I see you holding space for it and working with it as you should. So this is going to be a very fruitful, a very fruit-bearing time for you to clean up whatever it is that you've been holding on to for so long. You're going to be a new man, whatever, person after that. So enjoy that one. Gemini, I love you.